This week's question came in and I was like, oh yeah, I've been there. Why is my credit score going down when I'm doing everything right? Oh, welcome to one of the most infuriating experiences in personal finances. You pay your bills, you pay off debt. You're out here being responsible, genuinely, actively trying, and then you get an email notification that your credit score dropped, and you stand there in your kitchen holding your phone like, I feel personally betrayed by you, because it kind of did. I'm Tiamo, this is Tiamo Tries Money, and today we're talking about credit scores, what they are and how they actually work, why yours may be dropping even when you're doing the right things, and why the whole system is frankly a little bit stupid, but also unfortunately necessary. So let's get into it. Let's start with the obvious of what a credit score is and why do we even care? Let's start from the beginning because I think a lot of people are managing something they don't fully understand, which is actually the whole reason this channel exists. So no shame. A credit score is a 3-digit number. It lives somewhere between 308 and 850. And what it's supposed to represent is how trustworthy you are as a borrower. How likely are you to pay back money you owe? Lenders look at this and decide whether to give you a mortgage, a car loan, a credit card. Landlords pull it when you apply for an apartment. Some employers check it before hiring you. Utility companies even use it to set up new electricity at a new place. Which means this one number, calculated by an algorithm you didn't consent to, has a quiet but very real impact on your life. Your interest rates, where you can live, and sometimes where you can work. And again, the ranges, so we're all on the same page. 800 to 850 is exceptional. Lenders love you. 740 to 799, very good. You're doing great. 670 to 739, good, solid, no complaints. 580 to 669, fair. Some lenders will work with you at worse rates, though, unfortunately. Below 580 is considered poor. Things get harder and more expensive from here. The goal is for more people to get to the good and stay there, ideally even push towards the very good over time. That's where you get access to better rates, better terms, more options. Now, how does the number actually get calculated? Because this is where it starts to make sense why yours might be dropping. The most widely used model is called FICO, FICO. 5 factors, 5 different weights, and understanding these 5 things will explain almost every confusing credit score moment you've had. Payment history, 35%, the biggest piece of the pie. Did you pay on time? Every time. One missed payment can do real damage. This is the single most controllable factor you have. Paid on time, set it up on auto pay. That one's just too important to leave to memory. Credit utilization is 30%. This one trips people up. Utilization is how much of your available credit you're actually using. If your credit card limit is $1,000 and you have $900 on it, that's 90% utilization. That looks terrible to the algorithm, even if you paid off in full every single month. The general rule standard 30%. Under 10% is ideal. So on a $1,000 limit, if you want to be carrying under $100 if possible. Length of credit history, 15%. How long you've had credit. The older your accounts, the better. This one becomes important in a way that is going to connect directly to the personal story I'm about to tell you. And then credit mix, 10%. Having different types of credit cards, installment loans, student loans, a mortgage, shows you can handle various kinds of debt. And it's a smaller factor, but it does matter. New credit, 10%. Every time you apply for a new credit card or a loan, it triggers what's called a hard inquiry on your report. Too many of those in a short window sends a signal that you might be in financial trouble and scrambling for credit, and it does dip your score temporarily. Okay, now that we're armed with all of that, let me tell you why good behavior sometimes leads to a lower score, because it genuinely makes no sense until it does. Things that dropped my score when I was doing the right. Let me tell you about 2 specific moments in my financial life where I did something I was proud of, and I got punished for it. Moment 1, I paid off my student loans. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. This one was one of the best days of my life. I'm not exaggerating. I've been carrying student loan debt for years, and the day I made that final payment, I physically felt lighter. I think I did some weird dance in my kitchen, and I'm not going to specify what it looked like. And then a few days later, I get an email. Credit score alert. Okay, tell me about it. It went down. I stared at my phone. I owe less money, and I did the responsible thing, and the algorithm looked at that and said, actually, problem. Here's why. Student loans are what's called an installment loan, and it's a different type of debt than a credit card or car loan. When I paid it off, I lost that account from my credit mix. My variety of types then decreased, and on top of that, a paid off closed account contributes less and less to your credit score over time. Did I regret paying off my student loans? Absolutely not. Worth it every second. Nobody warned me the score would drop, and for about a week I was genuinely confused. Moment 2, I closed my oldest credit card. I got my first credit card at 18. By my late 20s, I wasn't using it anymore, and it had a low limit, it felt outdated, no benefits. It just felt like clutter and confusing, so I called and I just closed it. Logical, right? Except that card was my oldest account. The moment I closed it, the average age of my credit history dropped significantly. Remember, length of history is 15% of your score? I essentially deleted my longest track record. Closing that card also reduced my total available credit, which means even if my spending stayed exactly the same, my utilization percentage went up. Two factors hit at once. Score dropped, and I did not enjoy that since I was working on building my credit up to where it was. Now I want to tell you about my friend. I'm going to call him Ron to protect his identity. Ron knows who he is. Ron, I say this with love. Ron's credit score swings 20 to 50 points every single month. I have never seen anything like that in my entire life. I genuinely thought it was broken until I looked into it. Like something in the system had specifically decided to make Ron's financial life chaotic for sport. But here's what's actually happening with Ron. And maybe it might be happening with you too. His credit utilization changes dramatically month to month. He'll put a big purchase on a card, maybe it hits right before the statement closing date, and suddenly his utilization jumps up. Score drops, then he pays it off. He actually pays it off his credit card in full every month. Score comes back. Every month up and down like a roller coaster that nobody asked to ride. The fix for Ron, and this is actually useful, is to either pay down the balance before the statement closes or ask for a credit limit increase so that the same spending represents a lower percentage of available credit. Ron's not broken. Ron just has a utilization problem that repeats itself monthly. He's a smart guy with money. And this is what I'm talking about, why credit can be confusing. Beyond my personal disasters and Ron's situation, here are some other common reasons your score might be going down, even when you feel like you're doing everything right. You applied for something new, a new card, new loan, refinancing. Each application is a hard inquiry. One is fine. 3 in 2 months looks like something's wrong. The score does dip temporarily, usually recovers in a few months. Someone else's mistake, errors on credit reports, are more common than people actually think. Wrong account information, a payment marked late that wasn't, even someone else's debt showing up in your credit report. So I really encourage you, check your credit report at annualcreditreport.com. You're entitled to free reports from all 3 bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Check them. Dispute if anything's wrong. Maybe a card you forgot about got closed. Credit card companies can close inactive accounts. If you haven't used a card in a while and they close it and your available credit drops, utilization goes up, score goes down. Use your cards occasionally, even small purchases, to keep them active. I just have a reminder every few months to use the cards that are in my wallet that I never use. The account age math shifted. Every time you open a new account, the average age of all of your accounts recalculates. Open a new card recently, even if you're using it perfectly, it pulls your average down. That's length of history taking a hit. Okay, so let's do some real practical stuff. Pay on time every time. I do recommend auto-paying the minimum at least so you don't ever miss a due date. That's 35% of your score, and like I said, it is the most controllable thing that you have. Keep your utilization under 30%, under 10% if you can, and pay down balances before your statement closes if you're carrying a high balance, not when it's due. Don't close your oldest card, even if you'll never use it. Put a small recurring charge on there, maybe a streaming subscription, anything, just a few dollars to keep it going, and pay it off automatically. Keep it alive as long as you can. Don't apply for multiple new credit accounts in a short window. Space them out if possible. Check your credit report once a year at a minimum, again, at freeannualcreditreport.com. Look for errors. Dispute anything that isn't right. It is worth the 20 minutes. And if you pay off your loan and your score dips, take the win anyway. You have less debt. A paid off loan is always better than a loan that exists. The score will normalize, your actual financial situation improved. The algorithm is just being weird about it, and who cares? Here's what I actually think about credit scores, and I want to be real with you. The system is annoying. It genuinely is. The fact that paying off debt can lower your score, the fact that closing an account you don't need can hurt you, the fact that a 3-digit number has so much influence over my entire life, but the rules feel completely backwards sometimes. I understand why it's frustrating. It is frustrating. But here's the thing, until you are completely debt-free and financially independent, and that is an achievable goal, it is what we're all working with. This number matters. It affects your interest rates, your housing options, your borrowing power when you need it. So it's worth understanding even if the rules feel dumb. The end goal is to not need the score, that we can own things outright, to have savings, to have the options that don't depend on borrowing, but getting there takes some time. And while you're on that road, like me, understanding how the score works protects you. Don't let the score run your financial decisions, but don't ignore it either. Here's what I want you to take away today. Your credit score is a snapshot. It's not a verdict. It moves, it fluctuates. Sometimes it drops when you do smart things. And now you know why. Pay on time, watch your utilization, don't close old accounts, don't apply for everything at once, check your credit report for errors. And if you pay off a loan and the score dips, do a little dance in your kitchen anyway. You did the right thing. The algorithm will absolutely catch up. Drop your money questions in the comments below. This question came straight from you guys. Maybe it'll be yours next week. I'm Tiamo. Check your credit report. See you next week. Real money questions answered honestly, no pretending like I've always had it together.